Labi. Labdien visiem! Hi everyone. I hope the new year has started well for all of you, and thank you for finding the time to join this webinar. This event will be in English, as today we're joined by a guest from Finland. But first, a quick background from my side as to why we're here. So I'm representing the NGO Pasaules, pieredzi, Latvijā, which literally translates to with global experience in Latvia, but in English we're also using the name Brain Gain. And we are a community gathering people who have lived and worked abroad and have come back to Latvia. So we see the value that global experience and talent can bring to the country. And we see that each year many international students come to study in Latvia, and yet only a fraction choose to build their careers here. And so since the beginning of last year, we've been working on a project aiming to better understand why this is and what we can do to retain the much needed talent. And in 2025, together with the Biceps Research Center, we conducted a study looking into the reasons why international graduates leave and the potential strategies for addressing that. And we interviewed employees, policymakers, students, and graduates themselves to better understand these different perspectives. And we also looked at the strategies implemented in other countries, including Finland. And finally, in November, we also organized a conference where we presented the main findings. And we organized panel discussions to delve deeper in what could or should be done. And at the conference, we were also joined by Mika Raunio, a Finnish researcher whose research heavily influenced the creation of the program we're going to talk about today. So to keep the conversation going and to create a space for sharing experience, today we have invited Laura Lindeman, Senior Director of the Work in Finland unit at Business Finland, who has been leading the development of the Talent Boost program. And she will kindly share more about the program, its functioning, success, etc. And we will also try to find some time for your questions at the end. So now I will give the floor to Laura. And once again, thank you, Laura, for finding the time to meet with us.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It's a very big pleasure to be here, and I'm so happy to hear that, or I heard it already before, that Mika was joining your seminar in November. That's very good. I have worked with Mika for maybe 15 to 20 years, so he's very well aware what kind of development Finland has had with these issues. Before I share my screen, I could present myself a bit. I'm like Anna was presenting, I'm Laura Lindeman, and I work as a Senior Director at Business Finland and leading the Work in Finland unit here. And Work in Finland is government organization that is promoting Finland to international talents and supporting companies to attract and recruit internationals. I have before this job, I worked for 6 years at the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment, and my main task there was to develop the Talent Boost program or kind of create the whole program for Finland. So I will talk about the history of Talent Boost program a bit here, and what kind of phases we have had in the economic perspective of migration policies in Finland. And then I will also share some views of Work in Finland operations, what kind of operative things we do in Work in Finland to implement the Talent Boost program. But now I will share my screen and the slides. Just a second. Okay, I hope you can see now, and I can't see if you are trying to comment or so, but if there is something that you want to say in between, just shout out. So I want to start with this this quite simple picture, but because I think that this describes the approach in Finland quite well. That when we talk about talent attraction and retention, don't talk only about the attraction part. We also talk about the recruitment processes and processes. Like migration process and how to relocate to Finland, how people are received with their families, and how they are integrated. And if all this works well, then our reputation gets better, and talent attraction starts to kind of feed itself. So this was also kind of the basic idea behind the Talent Boost program when we started to develop it in 2017. Of course, there are different enablers and frameworks that affect this, but basically that's how it is in ecosystemic approaches, that things evolve and change, but kind of the core idea is the same, and that we have to think very holistically when we talk about talent attraction and retention, and everything kind of affects everything. And that also, before I jump to this slide, this also means that it's not only one organization that can be responsible for everything. It requires many different organizations to take their role in the ecosystem, but also ecosystem needs to be orchestrated, and that's why it was decided by Finnish government in 2017 that Minister of Economic Affairs and Employment and Ministry of Education and Culture, they will be orchestrating this Talent Boost ecosystem that consists lots of different stakeholders. I will come back to that in a bit. I also wanted to share that the development really is not very quick. If we think about the steps that were kind of leading to the Talent Boost program, it was in 2003 when labor-based immigration was and promotion of that was first mentioned in the government program. So it was over 20 years ago that this was kind of brought first times to the discussion. And then step by step, we had in 2007, 2014, we had lots of different EU-funded projects around Finland. For example, about international student retention and employment, or regarding recruitment of nurses to Finland from Southern Europe, for example. And during this time, when there were lots of projects, the projects started cities who were very much involved in implementing the projects. They started to discuss with each other. And during that time, I was working myself for the Economic Development Agency in the Tampere region. Tampere is the second biggest city in Finland after the capital region, and we at the city we started to discuss with other cities that we really need to have also the government on board in making Finland more attractive to international talents, and to make the processes smoother, and to have the political kind of understanding about the importance of international talents for Finland's growth and internationalization and innovations. And at that time, our migration policy in Finland was very much based on security issues, social issues, and economic or innovation perspective wasn't that much discussed, even though this had been noticed in the government programs already in the 2003. But from that discussion that we proactively brought this on the agenda to the ministries, there started the kind of first discussions that should ministries take a role in this. And then in 2016, I was invited to work for a half-year project at the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment with the task to start planning an agenda for international talents for growth. And that actually then led to Talent Boost program and also to that a ministry established a permanent position at the ministry for these topics, and then later on a whole team of labor migration and international talents that I was leading at the ministry. And now we are in the phase where we implement the Talent Boost program, and of course every government gives its own kind of perspective for that. But this current government's emphasis is very much in the need-based talent attraction and partnering with certain countries with labor-based migration, and also that we are not only focusing on highly educated experts, but also skilled workforce with this government period at least. And also with this government, the Talent Boost program is led by the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment and Ministry of Education and Culture. And the aims are to attract international talents to Finland, to develop swift immigration processes, and at the same time also prevent exploitation of foreign labor and exploitation of migration processes. So that's one of the central focuses. And also retention of international talents has been put a lot of effort with this government period. This government will still be in place 1.5 years, so we still are in a very active government period. And as international talents, we have very broad perspective for that. Experts, startup founders, skilled workers, students, and researchers are all counted as international talents, and actually also returning Finns. So that's also one perspective here. And then a bit more about Finland's approach to labor migration. What is very central, or since the beginning of this government, who actually defined the partner countries for Finland's labor-based migration in the government program. So this is very central, that we are creating partnerships with non-EU countries that have been defined by the government. And those countries are Brazil, India, Vietnam, and the Philippines. Naturally, we also work with EU region because of the free movement of labor and US services and so on. But what is new with this government is that we have these partner countries. And these third country partnerships are managed and steered by the ministry, but we are implementing the work together with embassies. And the aim of the partnership model is to lower the threshold for employers to recruit from partner countries. It's quite a jungle for many employers to start recruiting outside EU. So many companies, they hope for kind of this kind of clear focus countries from us. Then also strengthening and smoothening ethics of employment, immigration, career paths for experts from partner countries. So it's also important to make sure that all the processes are ethical. And when we are partnering with certain countries, then we can also start agreeing with the practices, with the recruitment practices with them. And do collaboration with the sending countries and try to find win-to-win situations with that. And then a bit about Work in Finland, because we are a very central organization to implement the Talent Boost program. There are other stakeholders as well, like cities, employment services, company organizations, chambers of commerces, universities, and other higher education institutions. But Work in Finland has this very central national role in the operational part of Talent Boost. Before Work in Finland was established, we didn't have any national level organization to take care of the talent attraction and retention policies. We, of course, have immigration services, but their role is about residence permits. So now we also, with Work in Finland, we have this kind of active role in promoting international recruitment and talent attraction. And Work in Finland is part of Business Finland, which is the government's organization that boosts innovations and growth of Finnish companies. But we also have Work in Finland colleagues at the organization called KEHA, which is a development organization for employment services in Finland, and they are playing an important role in offering recruitment trainings, for example, and advice for companies. So Work in Finland is a joint effort by Business Finland and KEHA. And Business Finland's Work in Finland unit was established in 2022, and it's actually a statutory task of Business Finland to promote immigration of international talents. And we support companies in attracting and recruiting international talents. We don't do the actual recruitment ourselves, but we support companies and recruitment companies in that. We increase the awareness of Finland and its career opportunities among international talents, and we promote Finland as a destination for international startup founders. Also, and the goal of all this is, of course, to boost companies' growth and renewal. Work in Finland website is our one-stop shop, both for international talents and for employers. So both talents can find all the information about moving to Finland to work, and also listing of English jobs on the site, and then workinfinland.fi, which is targeted for employers, that has all the information about hiring internationally and talent attraction, and also services that support companies in this. And very important part of that is that we also we have the English speaking jobs on the side, and companies can leave the applications or the ads, job ads on the site. And then we also have an international network. We have talent managers at the moment in Vietnam and in India. In Brazil, we had the talent manager until the end of last year, but now we are in the process of thinking that should we operate Brazil from Finland or hire another talent manager there. So let's see. And the Philippines is coordinated from Finland by Jonas Halla, who is in our team. And all of the talent managers are part of Work in Finland team. And they offer advisory services to Finnish companies that are recruiting from these countries. And they also match Finnish companies with reliable and ethical recruitment partners in these countries, and they boost Finland's attractiveness and create visibility for career opportunities in these countries. And then we have something that is new, started last autumn, is that we launched a campaign to attract highly skilled specialists, especially for deep tech, and we are attracting specialists and researchers for deep tech ecosystem, especially in quantum, microelectronics, AI, photonics, health technologies. And we are focusing this campaign to also, in addition to the focus countries that I presented, also to USA. And then lastly, I just wanted to tell that we also have the startup residence permit for companies that or for entrepreneurs that are interested in establishing company in Finland. And Business Finland has a role in the residence permit process because we evaluate their business ideas before they will apply for the residence permit from the Finnish Immigration Service. But that's it. I will stop sharing now, and then I'm happy to reply to questions.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Do any of the people present have some questions already? You can also write them in the chat if you wish.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Didis Poreters, I'm from State Education Development Agency, just for the context, and we run Study in Latvia initiative. Do you have any connections, or do you work together with Study in Finland? That's one way of asking this question. And generally, how do you see the role of universities or other higher education institutions in your I don't know, scheme, initiative, or policy implementation? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Very, very good questions. We work very, very closely with Study in Finland, especially when Study in Finland is promoting studying opportunities in Finland. We bring the kind of the career perspective there. So we are joining their events, and we tell or we highlight that it's super important to learn Finnish during studies to be able to widen the opportunities after graduation, and also that what kind of things Finnish employers are expecting and what to do during the studies to make the employment easier after graduation. One challenge that is common to Study in Finland and us is false information, and that circulates in in many of our focus countries, and that leads to very bad applications, for example, or that employers or universities get lots of applications from people who are not really serious, for example, or they have totally wrong expectations. So we work in kind of combating against this false information also together with Study in Finland. And then the role of higher education institutions, that's very crucial because international students are, of course, the low-hanging fruit for also Finnish companies to expand their international workforce and get international talents that know different cultures and so on. And higher education institutions, they are working closely with, especially on a local level, with cities and Chamber of Commerce and so on, to kind of that companies would utilize this potential. So they have actually quite tight local ecosystems around these topics, especially in the biggest cities. Biggest cities have, for example, international houses, which is a one-stop shop for both international talents. If they are students or workers, it doesn't matter. And also for employers to bring all the services under the same roof. And higher education institutions are a big part of these international houses, usually. And of course, what happens during the studies with connections to employers, that's very crucial for staying in Finland and getting a job, especially that kind of job that matches with the education. That's very, very important. Around 50% of international students stay after their graduations and get employed. So there's still room for more to stay, and hopefully we can. And actually, the number has been getting higher, as has the number of international students also.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask like a clarifying question before Imans gets a chance to ask his question? So, do you think the universities in Finland, when they are recruiting international students, so they are recruiting also already with an expectation, or that this would be a potential talent pool that these people could possibly stay as a useful workforce in Finland? That's one thing. I'm thinking about the recruitment message. Now, like recruitment for studies, that's one thing. And the other thing is, so if I understood correctly, then it is let's say the duty or expectation that the university would be looking for these placement options, for practical placement options during the studies for these international students, and that it's not like Work Finland comes in and offers is an external service. So it's done by universities. Okay, so thank you.
Very good. I try to remember all. Yes, so it has maybe evolved during past years, and especially also because of Talent Boost program, that universities, when they plan their programs, they think of the employability more. This wasn't the case in many programs earlier, but now the understanding of this has grown, that Finland wants these students to stay after their graduation, and everything starts from the attraction part already, that we attract right kind of talents who have opportunities after their graduation, and that the programs are somehow matching the needs of the labor market. It depends a lot on the higher education institution, how well they do this. And also universities they have different role from universities of applied sciences. So universities that are kind of science universities, they don't think about the employability that much, and that's maybe not even their role, because they also want to grow researchers and talents for the whole world, not only for locally. But universities of applied sciences have more this employment perspective also in their recruitment. But I think there is still room for development in these issues. And then the other question was, now I thought that I will forget. Remind me.
It's about who's the duty, so to speak, is
yes,
to look for these companies and to match them with international students.
Yeah, that's also a very good question, and there. Some of the universities put more effort in this, and some not that much. And also, this is something that is shared responsibility locally. But Work in Finland is not doing any matching. We do have matching events that we organize together with cities, but we are not looking for trainee or internship places for international students or so. And also universities, they some of them utilize external services for this. But in Finland, the culture is very much like that you have to be independent in finding the jobs, and nobody is going to do it for you. That's basically the culture. But then there are cases where teachers, for example, are finding the positions, but it's not the kind of duty of anyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Imas Lipskis from the Ministry of Welfare, from Labor Market Policy Department, and of course here in Latvia also we are now in the process of we think that also these bilateral agreements could be a solution for attracting international talents. And as I saw in your presentation, you have third country partnerships with India, Brazil, Vietnam, and Philippines.
Yes.
Could you share with us some numbers how about this volume of this bilateral cooperation, and do you have some evaluations and some about results, how these bilateral agreements with these countries are effective, or maybe you could share also some good or I don't know bad experience. What would be your suggestion for us in terms of bilateral agreements with some countries?
Yeah.
Like you do, like practicing now. Thank you.
Well, actually, we don't have agreements with any of the countries. We have MOUs, so memorandums of understanding, with Vietnam, and one with India is in the process and has been in the process for very, very long. And then we have letter of intent with the Philippines. With Brazil, we haven't even had any government-to-government negotiations. Brazil has been clearly focused only for specialist recruitment, and in specialist attraction, we don't really need that much of government-to-government agreements. This is especially beneficial with skilled labor perspective. So, for example, welders, nurses in positions like that, and with very strongly regulated professions like nurses or in social and health sector. And we don't have many results yet, because the first MOU with Vietnam was signed about a year ago. So now and that's super slow, this government-to-government work. And now there is like a plan for implementing the MOU that has just been agreed. There was reform in the Vietnamese government in between, so it took a while to find a new counterpart there. And with the Philippines, well, they are super professional because they have been doing this for decades with other countries, and they have totally their own systems with this, and there you need to have a local recruitment partner to be able to recruit from there. So it's what we have seen, that it has been super useful that we have talked and kind of created understanding between the countries, because that will make easier for Finnish companies to recruit from there. Because from the Philippines, usually workers are going to the Middle East, and the rules in the and legislation in labor market is lacking or totally different from Finland standards, and that's how they kind of think that everyone would be going to a country where their nationals need to be protected a lot. So I think that it's good to evaluate where it would give added value before starting these quite heavy processes of government to government negotiations. And for example, ethical recruitment process is clearly that if you want to develop that, then it's good to have government to government MOU or letter of intent, and even agreement if you think so. But I think that if you are just trying to boost companies' attraction, for example, for specialists, then there's maybe no need to have such a process. Long answer, but I'm happy to continue about this if later at some point.
Thank you.
Hello, Laura. Thank you for the presentation. And we've been looking for a longer time in Finland's experience and also learning from studying Finland. What my question is, from what we understood, you managed to develop the Talent Boost program in Finland while being outside, like being outsider from the public administration or any, let's say, official hat wearing. I was told you were kind of independent when you coordinated that all institutions, like being employers, education, but also I know municipalities play a crucial role with providing the accommodation and all other matters. So my question is what was like the key to your success in managing to bring all to cooperate, not just at one table, but actually to act and to cooperate for years?
Well, I was working for the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment, so I wasn't independent consultant or anything like that. So I was deeply in the ministry, and I think one of the success or kind of why it was successful was that commitment of the permanent secretaries, both from Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment and Ministry of Education and Culture, and they were very devoted to this. And without that, I think that I couldn't have started to do anything. But on the other hand, I came from the ecosystem, from the cities, and I had all the cities backing me up that now there is our girl doing this, and finally there is someone who will take this on her desk. So that helped a lot. But I think that the key thing is that it's not the ministry's program. They are orchestrating it, but it's Finland's program, and every single stakeholder needs to have an ownership of that. and understand why they are needed and what they get from it, and also success should be celebrated together and give the kind of the credit for those who it belongs to. So it shouldn't be like the coordinator gets all the glory or so, but it's like joint effort and joint success. So I think that's something to think of, and also that organization is not important. Important is the customer. The customer is not interested from which office some certain services are coming from, and they are not interested in the logos and all that. They are just interested to get the service.
Thank you. So we at least know that you were part of the ministry when you started. But thank you, Laura.
Thank you. I think you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Ines will speak through my microphone because hers is lagging. Wait.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
No, thank you for your presentation. I really like your comment about this common system, and there is someone who orchestrated. It seems like you have really like complex system in Finland about that. I represent.
Now you're muted again. We can't hear.
Okay, I can see that Ines sent her question in the chat.
Yeah, so about Finnish language for newcomers and requirements for that. Yes, so in most of the jobs, if we think of the whole labor market, Finnish language is still needed. But if we think about tech sector or, for example, different growth services and startups, they are operating in English, and they are also the ones who are actively looking for international talents because they really can't find right kind of talent in Finland, or they want to have talents who also understand the focus market that they are going to grow their business in. So it depends, but in many jobs you still need at least some Finnish. One of the big discussions for years has been that what is enough, what is like sufficient level of Finnish language, and because there is no universal response or answer to this, we should encourage companies to clearly define themselves that what is needed, what kind of language level is needed in the task. At the moment, as you might have heard, Finland is suffering very, very high unemployment. So at the moment, companies, they can choose who they recruit. But a couple of years ago, the situation was totally different, and many companies needed to lower their requirements of language, and they started to develop their either that they change the language, company language, to English, or they started to think that how can they support more in language skills and so on. They were more investing to this, but at the moment, when there's a lot of availability of workforce in general in Finland, then I think that companies are not that interested in investing this. But this will change again, and those companies who are investing in it, they will succeed also in the future.
Yeah, thank you. I think Liana can also ask her question now. The mic, there's a problem. Now we can hear you.
Tagad?
Yes, now we can hear.
Okay. Yes, thank you for your presentation. It was very interesting. I am representing Ministry of Economics, and my questions will be more from an employer's perspective. Could you shortly describe how do you help or what's the process, for example, for an employer who is looking for employees, I don't know, for example, in construction or in logistics or any kind of industry, and then he says, hey, I need a particular amount of employees. How do you get them together with those talents or those international employees? What's the procedure for them?
Yes, very good. Well, first of all, we will do them mapping about that kind of talent available in the focus countries or the partnership countries and in EU. We discuss that is there, like, do they wish us to focus in one of these countries, for example? And if they say that yes, well, we are mostly interested in India, then our talent manager can present right kind of recruitment companies to them. Usually Finnish employers, when they, in all recruitment, but especially in international recruitment, they use Finnish recruitment companies. So in that case, we introduce the Finnish recruitment company with the partner in India, and then we match them together. Employer or the recruitment company, they always decide about the partnerships themselves. We have a list of partners that have committed to ethical standards of Finland in the focus countries, and then we introduce these companies. But because we don't do the actual recruitment at work in Finland, so then we just kind of bring the stakeholders together, and then because it's not only about the recruitment, so we can also support with country brand materials, because in many cases the talents need to be convinced that they should come to Finland. And also we connect cities where the actual position is located to the process, because then they can support, for example, the spouse for finding a job, and or with all the relocation issues like housing and all that. So again, kind of we are middlemen in the ecosystem and bringing the right stakeholders together to serve the employer in right time. But what is maybe kind of a big issue is that our ministry is not responsible for skilling. And the partner countries, they are very interested in skilling projects, that they would educate their, for example, welders for Finland, and then Finland would commit to recruiting those welders that they have educated there or trained. And Finland hasn't been ready for this kind of cooperation, and that has been kind of a challenge for us in this work, that when we talk about skilled workers and big numbers of people. So in that case, many times Finnish recruitment companies have taken that role, that they find partners who train, upskill, for example, for certain positions, and then this recruitment company actually recruits them from the training then. But yeah, that's a complicated issue in Finland at the moment.
Okay, thank you. And a little bit additional question about the same. How do you make this cooperation between employers and international students? This connection or cooperation, how deep it is in your work in Finland organization, and for example in universities?
Work in Finland has quite not that operational role in that. We in international student and employer matching, we have information both for employers and for international students that about job market in Finland and how to find each other, and then we organize together with cities and higher education institutions. We organize matchmaking events where employers can meet the students. But mostly the main responsibility is in the cities there, because those, especially if they are on-site events, they are local. But we have also organized national online matchmaking events. And then we also support cities or cities ecosystems to develop services for international student employment. For example, there is a project going on about developing a voucher for hiring international students, and we are kind of supporting from marketing and employer service perspective, and cities are offering the voucher. So usually we need many stakeholders in doing this. And actually, regarding the first question, we also have matchmaking events in the focus countries. So, for example, in December in the Philippines, we brought 6 Finnish employers to the Philippines, where we organized together with the Ministry of, their counterpart ministry at the Philippines. We organized a job fair together with them. And there were around 800 positions that were marketed there for the Filipinos, and 5,000 Filipinos took part in that job fair. So that's one way to bring the talents and employers together.
Okay, thank you. So you're saying 800 employees you brought from
positions, 800 positions,
okay.
And 6 companies traveled there, but then we also had companies that didn't travel, but they had open positions.
Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. Thank you, Laura, for the presentation. I'm Zanne Varpingen from Stockholm School of Economics in Riga, and also a researcher in this context here. And I'm wondering, sort of looking back at the very beginning of the, when the program started and developed, what do you think? What were the circumstances and that was the momentum that this program actually could have started? Because I imagine, just like we have here, there's a sort of good deal of, opposition, reluctance about, the risks and what this could bring in. What do you think were the, the things that really made it happen and possible?
Well, it's of course maybe right timing, in politics on a government level. That's maybe one aspect, and then but the biggest reason was that there was the need, companies, different kind of economic development organizations, employer organizations, they were all lobbying the ministry that something needs to be done. We don't have enough people in Finland, and we need to have long-term strategy to do something about this. And not only strategy, but we have to do something now, something concrete. And then I think this was put that much on the table at the ministry that they started to discuss with the political side that what should be done. And then in a midterm evaluation of that, the government at that time, they decided that talent boost program should be started. And first that included only international students, startups, and specialists. But nowadays, the current government wanted to have, and also the previous want to have, wider labor migration perspective there. So also skilled migration is included in the program nowadays. But yeah, it's about momentum, but it's also that you need to have advocates. You need there's a researcher in Finland who has been investigating or researching this, and she is using the term kind of a public sector entrepreneur, that you need to have kind of entrepreneur mindset to push something that is needed, but is not part of anybody's work yet, but should be someone's work. And maybe that was that. Me and then several other colleagues, maybe we had that kind of, we just wanted to push that and didn't give up. And because there is a need for that, and we see it in Finland, that Finland can't do without international talent. We are such a small nation that we are growing old.
Yeah, thanks. Well, very much like we are in a situation right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Laura, if I may, one more question. I wanted to clarify the voucher for students you mentioned. Can you please more in detail describe what it is? And in relation to that, how open are Finnish employers for providing internship opportunities for international students? And then whether those internships are found by the universities or still it goes through Work in Finland or international houses or any other mechanisms?
Yeah. International, sorry, I just have to message that because another meeting started. I will just say that I'm a bit late. Voucher is 3,000 euros, and employers can apply for that, and for hiring graduate or intern that is international. And now Helsinki and Turku have launched it so far, and other cities from the 6 biggest cities are preparing for that. Let's see what kind of experiences we get from that. And then international students are they get different kind of assistant for finding the internship, but internships are never kind of searched for them. They need to do it themselves. But different kind of universities support career services or matchmaking events organized together with the city or international house. Those are the crucial places. And then we publish the internship places on Work in Finland website. So that's one place where they search for them, but they need to apply themselves. And I have to say that especially with this unemployment situation, it's very hard to find internship places at the moment, and that's really a pity because then we lose the potential.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Laura, for sharing and answering the questions. And now we probably need to let you go. But
feel free to contact me if you have further questions later on. I'm happy to try to answer at least.
Amazing. We'll keep in touch then. And thank you everyone else for asking the interesting questions. I think it was a productive discussion. So yeah, wish you everyone a good week. And see you another time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.